Hey guys, welcome back to Kiwi Classics and Customs. Today, a little bit of the fun begins. Fun for me anyway. This is what I enjoy, actually getting the car back together and making it look like a car again, the car that it once was. So here's the full floor pan. You have the upper seat brace. Now this one is peculiar to the convertible in that it goes all the way across. Coupes and fastbacks finish right here, they don't go up over the tunnel. This just adds a little bit of strength, so that will go in once the floor pan's in. With the convertible, you also have these lower seat braces, which basically go directly underneath this section. Just beefs it all up. You have a heavy steel plate that bolts across them, goes underneath your drive shaft. This is about the one piece that we're going to save out of the floor. Mainly because it was 1/4 inch thick and it still pretty much is 1/4 inch thick. So that's handy. One little less thing you have to buy. So now I'm going to get this from here over there and into the red ragtop Mustang. Okay, coming in. Now, you've got a friend to help you with this. I suggest you take that option. This is a little tricky on your own, but we'll get there. A little bit of jiggling. So what you have to do with the convertibles, the floor is actually tucked under the inner rocker. On the coupes and fastbacks, they fit in between them. So convertibles are a little bit trickier, but hey, you don't have to deal with the roof in the way. So win some, you lose some. Yeah. There you have it. Well, a little bit of welding still to do. Actually, the next thing we've got to do, we've got to dive under the car and mark out on the bottom of the floor pan where all the chassis rails are, the transmission cross members are, so we can drill, we know where to drill the holes, so we can weld through from the top, across here, kind of down here, all around the perimeters. If you get underneath, scribe it, you can flip it over, take it out, flip it over, and then get your holes drilled, get everything prepped and ready and sealed and good to go, put it back in. So I'm going to dive underneath now, see you under there. Okay, so here we are down and dirty. What we got to do is mark around these pieces of the chassis rail because we're going to plug weld through here, and I prefer to plug weld them from the top, then it gives you a prettier finish underneath. So we get the floor pan all set in place, and then it's a matter of scribing these lines around where you're going to want. So just inside of this line, just above here, we're going to drill the hole from the top. So this just gives you a layout of where when we take it out again, we'll flip it over and we'll be able to see, rather than guess, where all this stuff was. And we can drill holes right up and over the gearbox cross member. So when you flip it over, you've got a nice little road map drawn of where you need to drill holes. Okay, let's do that. Here we are, floor pan back out, upside down on the stand. Now we've got to punch a bunch of holes, drill a bunch of holes, so we can plug weld it up and get it back in nice and solid. Punching around the perimeter is pretty easy. We're going to use this. This is a punch / flanging tool. And it really is as simple as slipping it over your edge and stamps a nice little hole. Saves you a bunch of time drilling, I'm telling you. So, carry on with that. Now, what I wanted to show you in a little bit more detail was where we described the lines. Hopefully these will show up on camera, but there's lines here, that's where the chassis rail extensions go. That just tells you exactly where it's going to be. So, what we'll do, that finish kind of here, you got to draw, you know, like join the dots a little bit in places where you couldn't quite reach. But that's basically the pattern we were dealing with. Like so. And the punch won't reach into here, so we have to drill. So we're going to drill lots of little holes. The flange that sits here is about 5/8 of an inch wide. So, you know, you come in sort of 3/8 of an inch, mark out where you want your spots, your plug welds to go, spot welds, and mark them out and drill them. So, yeah, I got a couple of 100 holes to drill, but with the magic of Hollywood, I'll be right back. Right, all the holes are drilled. I had a quick count up. There's like 170 holes in this floor pan to be plug welded up. And that's not to mention the seat bases and the seat supports. And so we've got a bit of welding ahead of me. Now, one thing you must do once you punch the holes, if you're working with these coated panels, they're electronic, static, something coated, they're black, the welder is not going to like those. The paint will burn, creates a gas that's probably not that good for you, but it's really bad for the welding. It'll make it spit and butt and carry on. You do need to grind both sides, grind it up, grind that material off, that black paint off for about 1/2 inch around the hole. That way it won't burn and pollute your weld. Another question I've been getting a lot of is, what am I doing about rust prevention on, you know, all these bare pieces of metal that we're putting together? Now, that's like a 3-step process. I'm going to get into that in another video, but just quickly now, I'll show you what I do. This is a product called Rust Off. It's made by Arrow Magnolia. We use it a lot here. It's an acid-based product. It neutralizes rust, even light surface rust or heavy rust. And it also acts as a weld-through primer. Now, you can hit it with that grey weld-through primer everywhere if you want to do that. That's good stuff as well. If there is any surface rust around, that weld-through primer won't touch it. This stuff, I like it because it's kind of a dual purpose. It kills that rust and it does protect the metal. As I say, it's that step 1 of a 3-step process, which we'll get to later. But that's the stuff. I'll put a link in it in the comments for that stuff. Great stuff. We use it literally by the gallon around here. And all you do is just get a little bit on a rag and have it in a spray bottle. You may have seen that little spray bottle we have around here that will spray it, you know, when we're in those hard to get areas. And just quickly rub over it. You don't need to drown it, just get it wet. Now you need to also do that on the mating surface, where that's going to lay down on the car, on the frame rail sections, wherever you're going to weld. You need to put this on the piece you're welding it to as well. That's really quite important. If you do it on both, you know, it's going to have a long, happy life. I'm going to keep doing this. We've got to flip it over, grind off the plug holes on the other side, get it in, you get welding. Back in a second. Okay, floor pan's in for the last time, hooray. Got it clamped in, couple of spots, using some Tek screws to hold it down temporarily. We'll get the plug welds going, and then I'm out of here, man. It's I got a cold beer waiting for me, as well as Mrs. Kiwi, and much as I like hanging out with you guys, that's a better offer. So I'm gonna get this tacked down, then I'm out of here. You guys have a happy 4th of July. Like and subscribe, share it with your friends. Have a good one. See you guys.